This is a figure that shows the process in public key crypto systems. Of course, it is a complicated figure. For now, you can add options, draw. Please wait a moment, please. Wait a moment. Save as print. من نمیتونم این امکانات مربوط به رسمش و اینا رو پیدا کنم تو این محیط. اینجاست. نه بازم فعال نمیشه. برای چی؟ نمیشه. Well, in this figure, the sender is A and the receiver is B, source and destination. Message source means the plain text and the main message. It is X. First, using an encryption algorithm that uses PR of A. PRA means private key of sender. A is sender. Private key of sender. An encryption algorithm is down. This box is called signing or signature. Okay? Which key should be used for signature? There are 4 options. Please answer which of these 4 should be used for signature. Public key of A, private key of A, public key of B, private key of B. Which of these 4 should be used for signing a message, for signature in the sender side? 4 تا کلید میگم، بگین که کدومش باید برای امضا کردن استفاده بشه. کلید عمومی A، کلید خصوصی A، کلید عمومی B، کلید خصوصی B. برای امضا کردن یک پیام کلید عمومی فرستنده باید استفاده بشه یا کلید خصوصی فرستنده یا کلید عمومی گیرنده یا کلید خصوصی گیرنده. Mr. Amjad says A. That is the key of A. Yes, it's right. But which key of A should be used for signing the message? Private key of A or public key of A? For signing, for signature in the A's side. Mr. Amjad, please note that if the public key of A is used for signing a message by A, everybody can sign the message as A. Yes? Yes, private. Only A should be able to sign for A. Yes? Yes, thank you. So, this first box that is shown by the green arrow is signing. Still in the center sides, we are here. So, what's the meaning of Y? Y is the signed message. Signed message. Encrypted by the private key of A. Well, in this second box, PU of B means public key of B. This box is encrypting and hiding the information. Yes? Which key should be used for encrypting a message? Public key of A, private key of A, public key of B, private key of B. Which of these four should be used for encrypting a message that should be sent from A to B? No, Y is private, Z is public. We will discuss this. Well, which key should be used for encryption? Private key of A, public key of A, private key of B, public key of B. Which key should be used for encrypting a message to be sent to B؟ چی کلیدی باید استفاده کنیم اگر میخوایم که یک متنی رو رمز کنیم و برای B بفرستیم؟ میشه بله، میشه پابلیک کی B، کلید عمومی B. Yes, P, public key of B. Well, now I say that Z is the encrypted signed message, both encrypted and signed. And this is the line, the communication line that Z or Z is transferred over that. This message, this box is decryption, decrypting the message and finding the content of the message. Which use should be used for decrypting a message? Public key of A, private key of A, public key of B, private key of B. For decryption in the receiver side. Private key of B? Yes, private key of B. Because only B has this key and can decrypt and read the message. And the last message here, decryption algorithm again, but with different key. This box is message verification, signature verification, signature checking. Which key should be for checking whether this is a really signature of A؟ در سمت گیرنده باید کدوم کلید رو استفاده کنیم برای اینکه ببینیم که کدوم کلید، برای اینکه ببینیم آیا امضای A درست هست یا نه؟ بله، public key of A. Yes. Well, again, these four keys and their applications are very important. Again, I will review the context. There are two, well, I think, please wait a moment. Please wait a moment to share another file. یه لحظه صبر کن، من یه فایل دیگه رو شیر کنم روی اون جدا جدا، چون هست بهتر شاید بتونم توضیح بدم. Actually, there are two applications, public key crypto systems. One of them is hiding the message and the other is signing the message, signature. And here in a Farsi slide, I will explain. It has some problem in loading the PDF file. No, I cannot. We have some problem with again. I will try to upload. No, I have problem in uploading a new file. Again, well, again, I should try. Share, add new share, document. It seems it's uploading. No, still the problem exists. Well, return back to the same slides. I'm sorry, I could not upload another file. I don't know what was the problem. Well, again, let's review the concept of public and private keys. I ask 4 questions. Please answer in short as PU of A or PR of A and PU of B and PU of B and PR of B. Okay, consider these 4 possible answers to my questions. PU means public, PR means private, A is the sender and B is the receiver. Now I will ask 4 questions. What key of these 4 keys is used for encryption or encrypting a message and sending it to B? Which of these 4 keys should be used? These concepts are very important. No, here I mean by encrypting and hiding the information. One answer, please. Not PR of A, PU of B. One answer, please. Repeat, yes. We have 2 keys for A and 2 keys for B. A private key for A and a public key for A. Also, these 2 types of keys for B. I will ask you 4 questions. First, which of these 4 keys should be used if we want to hide a message and encrypt a message and send the message to B? In the A's side, which key should be used for encrypting and hiding the message? Not for signing. Suppose that signature is not important and we don't want to sign. Only we want to encrypt and hide the message and send to B. Signing is not important at all for now. PR of A or PU of A or PU of B or PR of B. 4 students gave 4 different answers. The correct answer is public key of B, yes. Because we are sending and we are encrypting a message for B and everybody should be able to encrypt the message for B. Which user is the receiver? B. Which key should be used for encrypting? Public. So public key of B. Another question. Which key should be used for signing a message in the side of A? Again, 4 options. For signing a message by A, which key should be used? Private key of A, Mr. Amjad. Mr. Maher also says private key of A, private key of A. Yes, very good. For signing, private key of sender should be used because only A can sign, should be able to sign and have his own private key. And the third question, I will summarize these keys at the end of our discussion. Third question, which key should be used for checking the signature if it is valid or it is correct? For signature verification, for signature checking, which key should be used? PR of B, PU of A, PR of B, PR of B. Pay attention to this note that because PR of A was used for signing, now the reverse key, that is PU, public key of A, should be used for signature checking. PU of A. Yes. And the last question, which key should be used for decrypting and reading the message in the side of B? Which key should be used for decrypting the message and seeing and reading the message? Yes, private key of B. Well, summary. Yes, thank you. For encryption, PU of B. For decryption, PR of B. For signing or creating the signature, PR of A is used. And for signature checking, signature check, PU of A is used. So here that private key of A is used. Of course, it is written as encryption algorithm, but its aim at its goal is not encrypting. What is the aim in this box? It is not hiding the data. In this box that is shown by the green arrow. What is this box? Encrypting, decrypting, signing, or signature checking? Yes, this is signing. Thank you. This is signing. This is really encrypting. This is decrypting. And what is this last box? The last box, this box. Yes, check. Signature checking. Yes. Well, public key applications can classify uses into two categories: encryption or decryption. Provide secrecy. Secrecy means the data to be secret and confidential. Or digital signature, provide authentication. you want to be sure that this message is actually is coming from A, for example. Digital signatures provide this insurance. Well, about the RSA, all just one slide will be discussed in our course. The most famous and the most well-known algorithm for public key cryptography or asymmetric ciphers is called RSA. Its name RSA is given from the name of its inventors and providers, Reves, Shamir, and Adelman of MIT. Definitely you are familiar with MIT, yes? Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It is, yes, thank you. It is perhaps the #1 university in the world, especially in the field of engineering. In this university, in 1977, these three scientists introduced RSA, best known and widely used public key scheme or scheme based on exponentiation. It's not important for now, and uses large integers. The only thing that you should know about RSA is that RSA is the most famous and popular algorithm of cipher of asymmetric ciphers. Well, we ignore the remaining parts of this chapter and let's go to chapter number 3. But network security. Chapter 3. I hope I don't have any problem with this file. No, I have problem. No new file can be uploaded. Only the previous file can be uploaded. ببخشید خانم من صدای منو داری؟ من فایل رو نمیتونم آپلود کنم، فایل جدیدی رو. نمیتونم، من برم فایل های اضافی رو پاک کنم، فایل قبلی رو. یک بار دیگه سعی کنم ببینم نمیتونم اینو شیر کنم. بچه اجازه بده من تماس بگیرم با پشتیبانی بینم میتونن کمک کنن. Can you see the cover of chapter 3? But I cannot see myself. I will check what to do. Well, sync navigation, hide, maximize, hide the title bar, paths, share, notes, move and resize. I cannot see myself and cannot. What's the problem? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I should leave the class and come back again. I hope that will solve the problem. سلام، خسته نباشید. ببخشید من شاکری هستم. خانم مهندس. بله، دانشجوها جالبه که بله بله Can you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Now I can see the slides. I'm sorry for the problem, and we can continue now. Well, the title of chapter 3 is access control. Access control is shown in this figure. We have some subjects at the left side, a user or a process. Process means a program. And at the right, we have some resources, for example, memory or database or file, data file, image file, and these are resources. Access control checks whether this user has permission to access this resource or not. This is access control. And access control is at the core of computer security. It means it is very important in computer security, heart of computer security. این فصل عنوانش هست کنترل دسترسی و کنترل دسترسی یعنی اینکه یک کاربر یا یک برنامه که بهش میگیم سابجکت و میخواد دسترسی پیدا بکنه به یک منبعی، مثلا به یک فایل، مثلا به یک دیتابیس، به یک تصویر، به هر چی، با استفاده از یک سیاست هایی چک کنیم که آیا اجازه داره یا نه. So in brief, access control means checking the permissions of accessing to the resources, to the files. چک کردن اینکه آیا این فرد اجازه دسترسی داره یا نه بهش میگن access control. No, Mr. Maher, RSA is not important in our course. Only you should remember that RSA is a public key algorithm. It's an asymmetric algorithm for encryption and decryption and signature and signature checking. The remaining parts of chapter 2 is not important for our exam and our course. Well, access modes. Consider a situation where a user should want to access to a file. Okay, there are two modes of access. First, observing, that is only reading the file, or altering. Altering means modifying or changing the contents of the file. خب من اول توضیحی درباره اسلاید قبلی به فارسی بدم. اکسس کنترل یا کنترل دسترسی یعنی اینکه یک کاربری میخواد به یک منابعی دسترسی پیدا کنه و در این فصل میخوایم ببینیم آیا اجازه داره یا نداره. دو تا حالت دسترسی داریم، یکی مشاهده کردن، یکی تغییر دادن. Thank you. I see also the slides now. Thank you. مشاهده کردن و تغییر دادن. Read, write. Observe and alter are called access modes. این مشاهده کردن و تغییر دادن رو بهش میگن حالتهای دسترسی. At the next level of complexity, we find the access rights of the Bella-Padula, BLP. It's not important. Then the last paragraph of this. Here is the summary of BLP. So we have two types of accessing: reading and writing, observing and modifying. In BLP, that is a model for access control, we have four permission for writes executing a file, appending to a file or a database, reading a file, and writing a file. Executing is for programs. For example, user A can execute this file, this program, but user B cannot execute. This is execution permission. Yes, I will explain about append. Read means, for example, you can read a file, only read. For example, a text file, you can read that, but you cannot edit that and write something in that. This is the meaning of read. And write and add, or the next is append. Append, also called blind write, means modifying a file or a database without reading that. It is very strange and it seems impossible, but it is possible in some cases. For example, consider an operator or an employee that can insert new records to a table. Okay, can insert new records into a table of database, but he cannot retrieve and read the content of the table that have been existed in the table previously. Okay, the operator cannot search in the table, cannot read the content of table, but he only can insert and add something to the table. This is called append. Is it clear? Repeat. Append, Dr. P. Okay, yes. Consider an operator, a person, a user that he has the permission to add a new record or some new records to a table of database, but he cannot search the database, we cannot read the database, he cannot see the previous records of database. Only he can add something to database. Yes, this is called append. This is called modifying and adding and inserting to a table without the permission to see the previous content. append که بهش نوشتن کورکورانه هم میگن یا نوشتن کور. بله مرسی. یعنی این که مثلا یک اپراتور، یک کارمندی، کاربری بهش اجازه دادن در یک جدولی، در جدول دیتابیس، جدول پایگاه داده، اطلاعات جدید اضافه کنه. میتونه اضافه کنه ولی اجازه نداره محتوای قبلی رو و رکوردهای قبلی رو مشاهده کنه یا جستجو کنه یا ببینه یا بخونه. این میشه append. اضافه کردن، فقط اضافه کردن چیز جدید. write. Write means editing a file or database. It includes reading also. For write, you should read the file first and then can change the file. مورد چهارم هم میشه نوشتن. نوشتن یعنی اینکه بتونین یک فایلی رو تغییر بدین. تغییر دادن لازمش اینه که قبلش بتونین فایل رو باز کنین و بخونین که بعد بتونین تغییر بدین. So in the table at the bottom of the slides you can see the relation between two main modes, that's observe and alter. With this, for writes, execute, append, read, and write. For execute is different from observe and alter. When you execute or run a program, you don't need to observe the code or alter the code. Execute is different. Append includes which mode, observe or alter? appending to a database, for example, inserting some new records into the database, includes observing the database or altering the database. Which of them? Yes, altering. Only altering. Of course, a special kind of altering. Only inserting and adding, not other kinds of altering and modifying. And read is equivalent to observe. When you want to only read a file, you can observe the file. But write means both observing and modifying, observing and altering. These are 4 rights. Right here means permissions. What's the meaning of right or permission in Arabic? And also in Farsi. تعديل السماء. Several meanings. Permission or right. السماء. What about جواز or جواز or مجوز? التغييرات المسموحة. Right. Permission, right, privilege. Make someone or user to edit. Al-Jawaz. Jawaz or Jawaz. Yes. Right means Jawaz. Mujawwiz. Here. Or permission. Permission. Right. مجوز. اختیار تقریبا میشه اختیار. اجازه این هم میشه. نه تغییر دادن رو نمیگم. تغییر دادن همه شما اجازه. من میگم رایت یعنی چی؟ خود رایت. ببخش من متوجه شدم چیه مشکل. Now I got the problem in our communication. I mean this right, not this right. Okay, this right, permission, not this right. What is the meaning of this? The first right I wrote in Arabic. Right, permission, access right, for example. Not writing something. No. Yes. Al-Huquq. Yes. Al-Huquq. Al-Haq. Yes. Haq wal-Wasul. Yes. Okay. When Haq wal-Wasul معلومات. Yes. Thank you. Slide number 5. More operations. In addition to executing and reading and writing and appending to a file, other permissions and operations also can be defined. Creation and deletion of files, change of security parameters, creation a file. Can this user create a new file in this folder, for example? If he can, he has the permission to create. Has this user, for example, to delete or remove this file? This is a new permission. Or change of security parameters. For example, if user X can change the parameters of this file from read only to read and write or reverse, it can be done, but by default rules, that this means that maybe we have some default rules. For example, every user that creates a file can change its security parameters. This is a default rule, okay? A default rule may says that everybody that creates a file can change the parameters of the file. Why? Because he is its owner. By default, he should be able to change the parameters of the file. این که فایل ایجاد کنیم یا حذف کنیم یا پارامترهای امنیتی فایل رو تغییر بدیم، این خودش مجوز خاص خودش رو میخواد. ممکنه در فارسی به دیفالت میگن پیشفرض، ممکنه با یک رول های پیشفرض باشه. مثلا بگیم هر کس فایلی رو ایجاد کرده به طور پیشفرض میتونه پارامترهای اون رو تغییر بده. برای چی؟ برای اینکه هر کسی که فایل رو ایجاد کرده مالک و صاحب فایل حساب میشه. Or explicit access operations, or this permission can be given to a user by explicit access operations. For example, grant and revoke. Grant means اعطا. اعطا. I think you have this word in Arabic also, yes? اعطا or اعطاء. اعطاء. Grant. Giving, yes, giving. In simple words, yes. And revoke is the reverse word for that. It means, for example, taking back. Okay, taking back. Or for example, ibtal. Salb. Yes, salb. Well, let's go to, for now, slide number 6 can be ignored. We remove and ignore slide number 6 and go to slide number 7. We can display and represent the permissions of access using an access control matrix. What is that? First, the example here. This is a simple example of a matrix that shows the permissions. First, we have two main concepts in access control: subject and object. They are similar to the words subjects and objects in English grammar. What's the meaning of subject in English grammar? What's the meaning of subject in English grammar? What is the equivalent of subject in Arabic and Farsi? In both? No. In English grammar, not in general. In English grammar. For example, no, not man or girl. No, not موضوع. In English grammar. Let me give you an example. Yes. فاعل. In English grammar, subject means fa'il. For example, Ali ate the apple. Ali is fa'il. Yes? And what's the meaning of object? Nahad. Yes. And what's the meaning? Your Farsi is very good, Mr. Muhammad Hamid. Yes, thank you. And what's the meaning of object? Yes, maf'ul. Here in access control also we use the words subject of objects, fa'il and maf'ul. Why? Because the user is subject, is fa'il. He wants to access to the resource and files. And we name the resources, files, databases, and objects. In access control matrix, subjects, that is users or programs that want to access to something, are located in rows of matrix. Alice and Bob are in the rows of matrix or of table. Build.doc, edit.exe, and fun.com are objects. These are files, and files are objects, maf'ul. Okay, and inside the cells here, for example, here, exec means execution permission. This means Alice has permission to execute the file edit.exe. Well, I ask you again, please. What are located in the rows of this table or matrix? Subject, object, or permissions in the rows of table. What is located in the rows of table? Subject or object or permission? In the rows of this table, which concepts in the rows should be located? I mean the name of rows, not inside the cells, not inside the table. Names here. Here. Alice and Bob are what? Subject or object or permission? Alice and Bob. Yes, they are subjects. So in access control matrix, rows show subjects. And here, for example, build.doc or edit.exe or fun.com, that show the columns of the table. What are they? The columns. Build.doc and edit.exe and fun.com are what? Are called what? Yes, thank you. They are object. And what are the which concept is located inside the cells here? For example, exec or execute and read, or subject or object or permission. Mr. Ali Kazem, you don't have the slides? Yes, permission, thank you. I don't know what's the problem. Well, return back to this access control matrix. S is subjects, O is objects, and matrix is a matrix M sub SO. S is a subject, O is an object. This is important. The entry, that is the element or the cell, MSO. What's the meaning of M sub SO? It means the element in the row S and column O. Okay, specifies the operations subject S may perform on object O. What is the meaning of this? Here I will describe. For example, what is the meaning of this of this cell? It means that this subject, that is Bob, can read and write to this object, that is build.doc. This is the concept of access control matrix. And in this slide again you see another example. Subjects are you and, for example, you and V and other users. Objects or files are, for example, F and G and other files. And these are permissions. For example, user U can read and write and is the owner of the file F. Question: which permissions user U has on the file G? Which permission the user U has on the file G? User U on the file G can read, yes. R stands for read. And user V on the file G can read and write, and also he is or she is its owner. Okay, read and write, and owner, that means full options and full permissions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we should finish this session. The only important subject that should be mentioned is that we will have 2 more sessions in next 2 weeks. Okay, after that, I write here, I will write here June 6, I think 9 and 16. These 2 dates, June 9 and 16, is for your oral presentation. It is not necessary, it is optional and has extra point. Maybe 1 extra point. The project is necessary, but presentation of the project in the class is optional, and every student that wants can present the project in the class either in June 9 or in June 16. در تاریخ‌های 9 و 16 ژوئن که به تاریخ هجری شمسی میشه 17 و 24 خرداد ارائه شفاهی پروژه ها هست، ولی اختیاریه، یعنی نمره اضافی داره. پروژه هاتون رو باید برای من لطفاً ایمیل کنین، ولی ارائه اون به صورت اختیاری نمره اضافی داره. The project that before sended or after before sending or after sending, if you send the project before presentation, it's better. It's better to send your project using email or Telegram or email, and you can also present in the class in one of these 2 dates, and again on emphasize that it is optional. It is not necessary to present your project in the class. I will consider one extra point for presentation of the project in the class. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with the class. خسته نباشین بچه‌ها. در تاریخ 9 و 16 اگر خواستین به صورت اختیاری پروژه‌هاتون ارائه بکنین و همه هم البته از طریق ایمیل باید بفرستن، فقط ارائهش نمره اضافی داره و اختیاری هست. خیلی ممنونم. خسته نباشید. علی کاظم درباره موضوع excuse me doctor what about the degree distribution. Well, I should begin another class just now and unfortunately I have no time. I hope I remember to explain in the group and the telegram group about the project and about the degree distribution. Thank you. خسته نباشید بچه. در گروه انشالله توضیح میدم درباره حالا چیزهای مختلف، در گروه توضیح میدم. باشد. خیلی متشکرم. خسته نباشین و خدا نگهدار. شما هم خسته نباشین. مرسی.